Good afternoon, everybody. It's Dave coming to you from the paddock here in Southern Maryland. It's about 1 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. Had a nice, super slow Saturday morning. Saturday's when I do my weekly chores. It's a throwback to when I used to work all day, every day. So here we are. It's been 6 years since I've been off the treadmill, and I still use Saturdays as my weekly day. So it's like laundry morning. I run all the dog bowls, water, and food through the dishwasher so they get sanitized. Clean the dog mats. I don't know, just all the stuff I don't want to do every day. So I do my daily chores and I do my weekly chores. Emery got up late. I don't think Emery got up till 9:30. Sean didn't get up till almost 11. And Lauren barely made noon. So I like being in the house when they're home. I like to be in the house when they wake up. So I literally just got to the paddock a couple minutes ago. Pretty proud of myself. Pretty basic, but it changed my first flint in one of the IM Coronas. This bad boy died. Put a little flint. This is actually IM Corona's own flints. They come in these little packs of 5. And look, first one's gone. That's my first flint. Can you believe that? I've been on this journey almost 2 years, and this is the first time I've changed a flint in a lighter. Anyway, there's an infant first step in a man's journey on his pipe journey. Feel pretty proud of it, to be honest. As always, smoking the Maryland Meerschaum. Look at that color. It's starting to color up nice, especially on the back. Anyway, as always, I'll tell you it's snow white when I started it. What am I smoking in it? St. Bruno's. Well, it's really reflecty. I've got it's so warm here. I have the big door open. The dogs I thought would want to look out, but they actually did their security patrol and they went on to sleep. So they're taking a nap right now. Thank you, Greg. Actually, I should say thank you, Greg. I want to do a review of this today. It's only in my paddock. It's only in my cellar because of Potter Piper, but Potter Piper was very positive about this pleasant, I can't think of any more P's right now, blend. And I wanted to review it because I see why he likes it so much. I enjoy it. Potter Piper and I don't have too many cross points in our cellars, but this is one of them. So I wanted to do a review because I'm on day 2 of it and I'm really enjoying it. So I thought it deserved a review. So I want to point out that I bought the Ready Rubbed. You know me, if you're one of my guys, you've watched my channel, you've seen me do my reviews. I love Ready Rubbed. There's a joke in there for the 9-year-old in all of us. But I always select the Ready Rub versus the Flake of any blend that I have that choice on. Just sheer laziness, probably. But anyway, so the Ready Rub version of St. Bruno's is what we're going to talk about for the rest of this video. So I don't touch too many tobacco blends that have a long history. But this does. St. Bruno's has a long history. So I went out on Smoking Pipes and pulled down the history of the blend. So I want to take a minute. It's a little boring, but I want to read the history of the blend. You know, I think it's important to remember where we come from with these blends, especially the ones that have made it over 100 years. I think it's pretty rare in today's world, especially with the acquisitions we've seen happen and some of the concerns about entire lines being shut down, entire blends being shut down, entire plants being shut down. I think it's more important than ever to pay a slight attention, a little homage to where the blends come from that we smoke. So I'm going to read you a minute for the history. It's not too long. It's about a page. St. Bruno was originally conceived in the 1890s by Thomas Ogden, a businessman who began his career by starting a tobacconist shop along Park Lane in Liverpool, England. Ogden founded the store in 1860, and during that time, Liverpool flourished as a commercial city, becoming a major port and trading center. Within a few years, Ogden opened several other shops throughout Liverpool. After seeing how successful his retail operation was, Ogden decided to venture into manufacturing and opened his first factory along St. James Street in 1866. By 1890, Ogden owned 6 small factories and a snuff mill. The company continued to grow exponentially throughout the late 1800s, and by 1899, all business operations occurred in a large factory located along Boundary Lane. Thomas Ogden was a perceptive businessman and utilized advertising to market his products, taking advantage of the lithographic printing technology that was becoming increasingly popular in Britain when St. Bruno launched. Though the company doesn't receive enough credit for their efforts, Ogden's of Liverpool helped popularize the use of full-color illustration and graphic design as effective marketing tools. I thought that was cool that a tobacco industry did that. Ogden's strongly relied upon marketing and bet heavily on its success, reportedly redirecting up to 25% of its net profits back into advertising. Their use of enamel signs was particularly notable and departed dramatically from what competitors were doing. Many companies often use simple shapes such as rectangles with only the name of the brand on the sign. For St. Bruno, Ogden's took a more elaborate marketing approach, using signs that featured a pack of St. Bruno tobacco as well as a slogan such as Ogden's St. Bruno, the tobacco that won't be hurried. In 1901, the business was sold to James B. Duke's American Tobacco Company, or ATC, for 818,000 British pounds, which is $101 million in today's dollars. In what was the beginning of Duke's attempt to conquer the British tobacco market like he had done in the United States. This aggressive move to establish a monopoly forced 13 family-operated British tobacco manufacturers to merge and form the Imperial Tobacco Company. There was intense competition between ATC and Imperial in England, and eventually Imperial decided to take the battle to the States by attempting to acquire a business that could challenge ATC. After encountering several substantial losses in England and facing a potential trade war back in the U.S., ATC agreed to surrender Ogden's to Imperial in 1902, so long as Imperial abandoned plans to enter the American market, other than for the purposes of buying leaf. I thought that was kind of interesting that that's 122 years ago, and it sounds a lot like what's happening in today's world. With the rise of daily newspapers and radio broadcasts in the 1920s, Ogden's quickly adapted their marketing strategies so that they could advertise on these media platforms. St. Bruno advertisements were broadcast over the radio and even appeared on bus tickets issued by the London General Omnibus Company. Though St. Bruno was first offered as a flake tobacco, Ogden's introduced a Ready Rub version in the 1920s, which accounted for the increased marketing and continued the company's growth. During World War II, tobacco production and advertising significantly decreased due to wartime restrictions. However, Ogden's thrived after the war with a strong poster campaign that featured depictions of masculine men with a pipe and the slogan, "You'll like St. Bruno's, it's a man's tobacco." With the rising popularity and availability of television in the 1950s, Ogden's employed famous cricket commentator John Arlott as the voice and face of St. Bruno, utilizing him for physical ads as well as TV. Decades later, English cricketer Fiery Fred Truman appeared in television and advertisements for St. Bruno in the late 1980s. Perhaps the most memorable advertisements occurred in the 1980s when the brand's famous St. Bernard mascot debuted with a pouch of St. Bruno around his neck. The heroic canine appeared in commercials where he came to the timely rescue of pipe smokers that were stranded without tobacco while fishing on a lake, serving as a lighthouse lookout, and working at an Arctic research station. The ad campaign was so successful that the St. Bernard was incorporated on the new packaging that was unveiled during the time and continues to appear on the pouch version that's produced today. Show that to you in a minute. St. Bruno is currently manufactured in Denmark by Mac Baren, who originally took over production of St. Bruno and other blends from Imperial Tobacco back in 2006. In 2015, Mac Baren purchased the blends outright in addition to other mixtures they produced for Imperial, such as Capstan and Three Nuns. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting that it led, the history from 1860 leads straight to Mac Baren, which obviously leads to Sutliff, which leads to the Scandinavian Tobacco Group. So I just thought that was kind of interesting that a tobacco that's been around for literally 160 years, 1860 to now, 164 years, leads straight to Mac Baren and the whole mess we got going over there. And in fact, I have no idea if this blend is going to survive or not. I just have no idea. So I bought a bunch, and but look, here's the pouch as it comes today. And it's like every other pouch. You peel the sticker and it opens up. But then when you open it up, there is the St. Bernard that is become so famous. Pretty cool. I love the breed. Never owned one, but I think they're pretty cool. Anyway, just thought it was a nice little history of the blend. So the next thing I did, which is, you guys have been with me a while now, I printed our old buddy Jim Inks. Let's hear what Jim Inks has to say about the flavor profile of St. Bruno. He actually reviewed the Ready Run version, so it was kind of nice. This review dates back to July of 2015, so what is that, nine and a half years? I don't think the blend has changed in those 9.5 years, so I feel like it's still relevant. He rated it 4 stars. He gave it a strength of medium, flavoring of mild to medium, taste is medium, and the room note is pleasant. So here's what he goes on to say. The Virginias are slightly grassy, rather earthy, and woody, with some tart and tangy citrus, bread, light sugar, and floralness, a pinch of spice, and some stewed, tangy, dark fruit, which indicates bright and dark Virginias were used. I noticed the properties of the dark Virginia more. The dark-fired Kentucky has some wood, earth, floralness, herbs, dry, sour, and light, spicy sweetness to go along with a little boldness is an important support player. The rich floral toppings are rose geranium and Tonkin. But while the toppings do sublimate the tobaccos to some extent, you won't miss out on what the varietals have to offer. There's a vinegar preservative, but it doesn't translate to the taste. The strength, taste, and nick hit are medium. Won't bite even if you're pulling like a steam engine. As with already rubbed cuts, it's easy to deal with. It needs a light, dry time, though I find it does well without much of it, and drying it too much would lessen the flavor a little. Burns cool and clean at a slow to moderate rate, with a smooth, very consistent taste to the finish. Has no dull, weak, or harsh spots. Leaves a little moisture in the bowl, but no dawdle. Requires some relights. Has a very pleasantly lingering aftertaste and room note. easily repeatable during your smoking day. The only differences I note in the Ready Rub version is that the tobacco flavor is a shade more obvious, which is often the case with this cut as more tobacco is exposed to air. It's also slightly mellower, which is also attributable to the cut. That ends Jim's review. All right, so the next thing to do, let's go ahead and we're going to open the pouch up and dump some into the tray so you can see what it actually looks like in the pouch and in the tray. Then we'll load up a bowl and see what it tastes like as well. I guess the other thing I haven't done for you is I've not done a pouch note, so I will do that now. All right, so let's open up. There's your typical pouch. I mean, you immediately get tobacco, you immediately get leather, and you immediately get just a hint of tang, a hint of like a barbecue sauce almost. Yeah, and I can smell this all day long and get those three. So it's really, you just get this really nice, robust tobacco smell. You get kind of that little bit of like hot, warm leather, and then you get the little bit of tang. That just reminds me. Some people might say ketchup, but it doesn't do that for me. To me, it's more like a barbecue. So that's it. Those are the three, and that is the extent of my palate. My nose is going to come up with those three. I can sit here and smell it all day long. I'm a little worried that the pouch itself, the foil, gives a little bit of scent off. I can't really tell. But anyway, those are the three I get. All right, let's turn you around and show you what this stuff looks like and get a bowl loaded up. All right, here's the pouch. Let's just peel it open. When we look down inside, I'm going to have to get a light out to let you see it down in there. But down inside the pouch, it looks pretty much like it does when you dump it out. Sometimes these pouches make it all caked together and you pull out almost like a big wad, but it's loose in there. And this is what it looks like when it's dumped out on the tray. It's pretty loose. You can see that I've not manipulated this. I've not rubbed this out at all. This is how it comes out of the pouch. So in my opinion, it is kind of ready to go. There's some moisture in it. When I squeeze it, I can feel the moisture, but just when I run it around like this, it's not wet. It's not moist. You can just feel a little bit of moisture in there. So I imagine if you left it like this, it would dry fairly quickly, 10-15 minutes, and you'd be drying it out. But like Jim Inc. says, if you do that, you're probably going to lose some flavor. Now, I got to trust him because I don't know crap about stuff like that, but there it is. All right, I'm going to put some in a bowl. I'm not going to say pack my bowl. I'm going to say load it because I think packing is like the opposite of what I try to do. So I'm just going to get it some in here and just literally drop it down into the bowl. I'm not pushing on it really at all. It's a little bit long. Some of the flakes, some of the Ready Rub flakes are long, so you got to kind of manage it to get it in the bowl. But I'm not going to push on it any more than that. I'm not pushing on it. I'm not going to get it. Not going to pack it at all. So my one negative on this blend is what you're about to see, what you're about to experience in me. That's me trying to light this bowl. I feel like the Ready Rubbed has like fire suppressant or fire retardant spread on it. So it's going to take me quite a bit to get it lit. Uh-oh. Well, let's switch. Switch to the one with the new flint in it. See, we're about halfway there. I think that's maybe why Jimmy suggests, may need a little bit of dry time, even though he doesn't like to do it. So we're going to let that tobacco warm up. We're going to get it lit. I won't make you watch this part. I'll come back to you in a minute. All right, it's been 2 or 3 minutes. I gave it a quick tamp and then a relight. It's burning pretty good now. It's got great smoke. You guys know how I love a good blend that gives a great smoke, a good mouthfeel. I imagine it can be considered an immature trait, but I like when a tobacco gives off good smoke, and this one does. Great retrohale too. So let's talk about taste. Let me cut right to the end of it. I think this is a great blend. I like it. My mouth likes it. 2 thumbs up. I still haven't figured out a rate in my reviews, so I'm not even trying. My mouth really likes this. And so why does my mouth like this? So where Jennings talks about, he writes, Kentucky has some wood, earth, and then he talks about it as a support player. My mouth does not find the dark fired Kentucky as a support player. That's what my mouth tastes. Now, I'm bent that way. If you watch my other reviews, I like Old Dark Fired Ready Rub. I like Dark Fired Cherry. I like the 1792 flag. This is very akin to the 1792 flake, in my opinion. They both have Tonkin bean in it. I don't get the flowery of the Tonkin until I do my retrohale, and then it's very gentle. So you can pick up that touch of floralness, that touch of Tonkin, but I only get it on the retro. When I'm just smoking it, all I get is just good, robust, dark tobacco flavor. I think it's great. I understand why this tobacco's been around for 140, 160 years. I get it. To me, if you were to hold up like this is what a classic tobacco should taste like in your pipe, this would be what I would hold up. I know you can see it on the back here, but making sure I didn't want to be reviewing unobtainium again. It's readily available. Where am I? On Smoking Pipes right now. It might be other places, but that's Smoking Pipes, and both Ready Rub and Flake are up there, so you can buy it. At least that site. But when you do there, it said you also might like, and it has like Carter Hall and Prince Albert, so it's right up there. I think it's considered a codger blend by the larger society. What the hell do I know? But to me, it tastes like a codger blend. To me, it tastes like old-fashioned tobacco. To me, it tastes like if I just want to fire up a tobacco and I don't want nothing fancy, this fits the bill, and it tastes really good. So, yeah, all I can say is I like it. Luckily, I've purchased a fair amount of it, and I'm going to add it to both cellars, both here in Maryland and in Wyoming. So what's kind of funny is I just did my second flint. Here's the lighter, and it's back online. The flint had gone. It's so funny that I had two go pretty much on the same day. All right, I'll give this thing a quick tamp. Once you get it lit and burning, it burns fine. Unless you're talking a whole bunch during your review. So I agree. The strength, taste, and nick hit are medium at best. This is a nice, gentle blend. It's not in your face in any way. I agree with Jim that it burns cool and clean, especially in a meerschaum, especially in a church warden. This is a cool smoke. Remember, he said the tobacco flavor in the Ready Rub is a shade more obvious. I couldn't agree more. That is what I get out of this tobacco. Nice, pure, unadulterated tobacco. No toppings, no casings. Just good. I really enjoy it. What I don't understand is the world seems to classify this as an aromatic. I couldn't disagree more. This is an aromatic. This is an aromatic. This is old school straight tobacco. But again, what do I know? That's what was left of my flint. That's why this baby quit working on the video, because that was all it was left. I can recommend this tobacco. I can recommend it without reservation. If you're looking for an aromatic, I would not go down this road. I don't find anything aromatic about it. I love it. It's great. And I love aromatics, but I would not buy this as an aromatic. If you're an aromatic smoker, I think you'd end like, where's the sweetness? Where's the scent? Where's the other? It's just, I think you'd be disappointed. Interesting thing, if you go to buy it right now, I found that the flake is $21.42 a pouch. This is $21.42 for the flake version. It's $15.09 in the Ready Rub version. I have no idea why the flake is so much more expensive than the Ready Rub. You can buy them. The way I buy them is I buy them in these 5-pouch sleeves. I'm putting 3 sleeves here in Maryland, and I'm putting 3 sleeves in Wyoming. So I bought 30 pouches in 6 sleeves, half here, half in Maryland. I want to say thank you to Potter Piper. I would never even heard of this. I've never even heard it mentioned by anyone else. So I owe Potter Piper for giving me a window into bringing another great blend into my cellar. In fact, I'm going to smoke this. I'm going to stay on this until this pouch is gone. All right, you guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it all helpful. I love doing these little reviews. It helps me. I'd say when you guys comment on these, doing these reviews helps me. It helps me pay attention to what I'm tasting. It helps me pay attention to what I'm smelling. Helps me. I have to pay attention to what it feels like in the mouth versus the retrohale. It's just it really helps me to do these reviews, and helps me understand what I'm doing and not just sit here and puff away like I normally do. So I will be adding this to my top 10. I don't know where on the list yet, but this is a top 10 blend for me. All right, guys, that's it. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Talk to you later.